Okay, we want to talk about plant nutrients. Plant nutrients. uh, so plant nutrients. Probably these are mineral elements which are needed for plant growth. Probably this is the simplest definition. I hope I'm correct on this one. They are about they are about 17 plant mineral elements which are essential for plant growth. Which are essential for plant growth. Now, most of the soils in Zimbabwe probably we talk of poor soil fertility. What we are simply saying is that we do not have enough of some of these elements to support our crops. So we have to supplement we have to add plant nutrients to our soils. Usually using inorganic fertilizers. I just want to show you some of the fertilizers we buy from local companies in Zimbabwe, so that we add these plant nutrients in our agricultural soils. For example, we have this ZFC ammonium nitrate, which contains 34% of nitrogen. We commonly use this fertilizer. The other bag in the middle is not very clear, but we have got the tobacco blend there, showing its composition of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And some of these elements which are required by our crops. So, what are these plant nutrients? So we can start from these plant nutrients. We can divide them into two. The first group is essential nutrients. Then the second group is the non-essential. Nutrients. We can go on to the essential nutrients and further subdivide them into two groups. Again, we've got the macro nutrients, and the micro nutrients. Macronutrients are required in large quantities. These are required. These are trace elements. Just very little is required of them. So let us focus our attention on the macro nutrients. Let us try to find out what are these macro nutrients. So macro nutrients. Firstly, I'll talk about what is available in large quantities. We have got carbon, we have got hydrogen, we have got oxygen. Let me draw a line here. These are quite abundant. Then we have got N, which is nitrogen. We've got P, which is phosphorus. Then we've got K, which is potassium. In fact, these are common in our inorganic fertilizers. Let us move on to the next. The next group. These are macro nutrients. We have S, standing for sulfur. We have got Mg, standing for magnesium. We also have Ca, standing for calcium. So please note that for macronutrients, those first three, they appear to be abundant. They are not part of our inorganic fertilizers. Nevertheless, they are some of the most important macronutrients in plants. Then we have got that second, those other three in that group: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Then we move on to the other group, which is sulfur, magnesium, and calcium. So we have got about 9. I hope I'm correct here. We have got 9 macronutrients. total of 9 macronutrients. A total of 9 macronutrients. Right. So let us move on to micronutrients. Of course, these are needed in large quantities. The macronutrients. Then micronutrients. Micronutrients. We have, we can say these are trace elements. And in our fertilizers, they may actually be added. So we've got iron, we've got copper, we have chlorine, we have got manganese, after manganese we have got molybdenum. After molybdenum we have got zinc, then we have got boron, after boron we have got nickel. Looks like we are into mining business. Okay, these are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nickel was added recently to the list as an essential trace element. So we have 8. A total of 8 essential elements. Okay, and macronutrients. I just want to move on to another aspect. This aspect is about the essentiality of these elements. How do we consider, what is the criteria used to define the essentiality of plant nutrients? Number one, if the essential nutrient is absent, the plant may not be able to complete its life cycle. Complete its life cycle. Then number two, this element is very important for probably biochemical processes in the plant. Check on this one. Probably you may need to correct me after reading some literature on plant nutrients. Third, role of this essential nutrient may not be substituted by another element. Role may not be substituted or replaced. Substituted by another element. So it is actually important to note the criteria for saying this is an essential nutrient, because we do have a lot of these elements. So what we are going to do is just to highlight the importance of each of these elements. Probably I will not talk about the carbon, the hydrogen, and the oxygen, but nevertheless I still have a large list to go through, and I will just focus on the main points. So let us start with the macro nutrients. This time we are just going to talk about 6 of them. We have eliminated carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Macro nutrients. We start with nitrogen. What is it important for? Nitrogen is important for proteins. It is part of proteins. part of DNA, that is life itself, and RNA. It's also part of, I think, chlorophyll. There's a bit of nitrogen in there. So the absence of nitrogen may mean reduced growth, and it may apply to most of these nutrients. Reduced plant growth. Now, its absence is shown by yellow leaves. Yellow leaves could mean nitrogen deficiency. Deficiency. Later on, I will show you some of these deficient symptoms, especially on nitrogen, and the next one, which is phosphorus. Phosphorus. Again, just like nitrogen, it's also required for proteins, lots of them, DNA and RNA. I think it's also important for membranes. Its deficiency, you may have purple leaves showing deficiency symptoms. So let me show you some of these deficient symptoms of these two key elements. Okay, so this is the nitrogen deficiency symptom. You can see this yellowing and sometimes turning brown of the leaves. So nitrogen deficiency symptoms in plants. I'm not going to read all about this, but it also talks about DNA, RNA, and so forth. Then the other one is the symptoms for phosphorus, where we have this characteristic purplish color on the leaves. This is potassium. It looks like nitrogen. Anyway, I'll leave it at phosphorus, because it can be using colors, you know, it's not very easy to distinguish these symptoms of all these nutrients. So I will stick with these two. So back. The other element is the potassium. I think it will fit there. Potassium. This is important for the opening and the closing of the stomata. So this is about water regulation. So its absence or its deficiency may cause the plant to lose a lot of water, leading to death. It's also associated with lodging. Lodging. Right, so this is about potassium, but for your own information, in Zimbabwe we seem to have a lot of potassium in our soils, but nevertheless we have to supplement potassium. I'll move on to the next macro element, which is sulfur. Sulfur may also be added in our organic fertilizers. Sulfur. This is important for amino acids such as cysteine, which contains sulfur. Also glutathione, which is protein. It contains sulfur, and we have a very critical enzyme known as coenzyme A, acetyl coenzyme A, but it is this CoA which is the SH group, which contains sulfur, and also the glutathione. Yes, the same thing. We move on to magnesium. Now, this is the key element in chlorophyll. On the structure of chlorophyll. And it is important for photosynthesis. Important for photosynthesis. Probably I could just fit in calcium. Calcium is important for cell walls. In groundnuts, it's required for pod formation. Okay, so this should complete the macronutrients. Of course, you'll find that probably from the lecture notes I have supplied you, I have given you a lot of information concerning these plant mineral nutrients, but these are some of the key things which you may remember. So let us move on to macronutrients. Sorry, micronutrients, not macro. Micro. Nutrients. Yeah, we'll start with the iron. Iron is required mainly for electron transport. We have this ferrodoxin, which contains iron. It's important for electron transport. In the light reaction, in a non-cyclic photophosphorylation in the light reaction. Of photosynthesis. The other point is about what they call the cytochrome complex. Again, electron transport. Electron transport in photosynthesis. Especially in the photosystem 2, ferrodoxin is in the photosystem 1. It's also important, the cytochrome complex. It's also found in the oxidative photophosphorylation, I think. Oxidative photophosphorylation in respiration. Photophosphorylation. Right, so iron plays a key role. If it is absent, there could be serious problems. Then copper, copper, this one is part of plastocyanin. Again, electron transport. In photosynthesis. I think it passes electrons to photosystem 2. To what is known as P700. We'll talk about it when we discuss photosynthesis. But anyway, just remember that this is important for electron transport. Then chlorine. Remember, we're talking about the opening and the closing of stomata. It's important for opening and closing of stomata. it can contribute to water potential changes in the gut cells. Remember, the changes in water potential are the ones which can either cause water to enter the gut cells or leave it, thus opening it or closing it. Then we've got manganese. This one is important for carbohydrate metabolism. Metabolism. Photolysis of water in photosynthesis, plus glycolysis reactions. Plus glycolysis reactions. Let us move on to another element. Here we've got molybdenum. This one is important for pollen formation, division symptoms. Flowers may fail to open. The other one, which is more or less similar symptoms, or boron. Again, it's important for flower formation. Flower formation. Flower formation. And fruit development. it may also be involved with, yeah, I think it's around the flowers. So if it is absent, so it may decrease yields. Let us move on to the next. This one is zinc. Zinc is a cofactor in several plant enzymes. So if it is absent, there could be problems. And the last one is nickel. This is the recently added element. It is involved with the nitrogen fixation, also N metabolism, it is a component of an enzyme known as urease. Urease enzymes, I think, which is involved in nitrogen fixation, urease enzyme. So this is it on the plant nutrients. Of course, you'll find that I've supplied you with not specifically covering macronutrients and micronutrients, but these are some of the highlights which you may need to take note of. So this is the end of this tutorial. Let me stop here.